These are the Wasoto heated gloves from the Wasoto company. And measuring by the size of my hand, you'll see here that I have opted to get the extra large variety. You see here's the full box, here are the contents of the box, and here are the extra large gloves, heated gloves, inside this plastic protective bag, which is air sealed. Open them right up with our own strength. And of course you have the silica gel packed over here. Do not eat it, keep it away from the reach of children. And here you are. They look like ski gloves. And they're fastened together here in the middle. And let's see if we can unfasten them. Here you are. Just snap in and they snap out. And let's see what these can do. The batteries, I can tell, are kept in this compartment here. It has this zipper, and the zipper is the right one over here too. Let's get that open. And here you see the batteries come inside of it, inside of the pocket to keep them from getting loose. And let's take a look at these batteries. Here it is. Here you see the company logo and brand name. This is a 3000 mAh, 7.4 volts, watts at 22.2 WH. And here comes the wire. Here's a wire. Let's see, you would attach it like this. And you will put it back inside. And let's do the same thing with the other one. So the battery's already inside the right hand glove. And let's see if we can do the same thing with the left hand. Here it is, it comes protected. Battery comes protected in this white case. Not even a case, it's protective seal. And we'll connect it right there. And right now you must be wondering, how does the heat come on? How do we operate it? First we're going to close it to protect the battery from the elements as well as getting caught in whatever you have in your way. Inside it has this strap. Let me see if it has the same thing on the other one. Yes. And let's put the right on first. And even though it's extra large, it still feels tight on my hand. They do sell a size larger. So maybe that's the one that you might want to get if you are used to getting a certain size. Try to get a size larger. This one runs kind of tight on my fingers, which might be a deal breaker when you're grabbing a steering wheel when you're driving. Some of you might like the tight feel. You don't want your hand floating in there, but my fingers are all the way to the top, and when I make a fist, it does feel pretty stiff. How you activate it, you have an on-off button here, and that's how you go through the different levels of heat. And try the other one. Again, you see the power button over here. It just reads on and off in the 3 levels. On the first level is the lowest level that advertises that you can have heat for up to 8 hours. And then medium, you can have it for, I believe, a total of 4 hours. And you can have it at the highest settings that guarantees about 2 hours of output, which, again, they always advertise at the highest duration, but usually at the lowest setting. Now these come with a different degrees of heat. And when this might come in handy, let's say you're commuting, you're riding your scooter or you're driving, usually not when you're driving, right? Because you're not immediately exposed to the elements. But let's say your steering wheel is cold and you just got in the car, you want to get out there in a hurry and you don't want to touch a cold steering wheel. Well, you can have gloves on for a limited time and then just take them off at the red light, turn off the glove to preserve the batteries. If you're riding a scooter or you're riding a bike, these can come in handy. These are still a reasonably new piece of technology in that you can have heat attached to gloves. Now they also sell, same company sells socks that are heated socks that can probably improve your circulation or just can improve the feel in a room that's drafty or you're working outside for a long time. It might make a good gift for someone who knows that makes deliveries and has to be out for a long time. Many of the delivery drivers in cities like New York or Philadelphia, even Los Angeles, I've seen that they sell attachments to their bikes, mittens, where these stay on the bike and you just put your hands through them. But just know that even without the heat, these are pretty warm. I don't know how these would stand up in a snow fight where you're constantly having to pick up ice, ball it up, and then throw it at an opponent. But that's something that you might want to find out on your own, or just to find out where the nearest snowball fight tournament is going to be. Let's go back to the battery. So to turn it on, you have to actually hold the battery down for about 3 seconds before it recognizes that you're there. This is not something that works with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. No, this is just something that you hold the button and then you just wait for the glove to get hot. And as I turn it on, I see that it automatically comes on to the highest level, the 3rd level, right? So that's going to wear the battery out soonest. But for the purpose of this showcase, I just want you to see how they look. I want you to see how to power it on. Right now it's off, this side is off. And who knows, you could be waiting for the bus for a long time and then realize, hey, my hands are freezing, and then, hey, wow, I have these gloves that I was given to a gift or you gifted yourself. And the Santa Claus, which is Amazon, made this possible for you to have before the holidays. So right now, they've been on for about a minute, or just under a minute, but these are already making my hands warm. And you know, when you're riding your motorcycle or your electric scooter or your electric bike, the wind will feel 3 times as cold as it really is. The wind chill will really affect you because it's hitting you directly. But if you put on the right layers and the right gear, you have a helmet that closes exposure of the wind to your face, stops that exposure, you can stay out there for a little longer. So these are tools to make winter a little easier for you if you live in a place where winter is something that you have to contend with. So I'm going to turn this off for the time being. I just wonder how, if you have a short commute, having the battery charge shouldn't be a problem, because you can easily just turn it on and turn it off as needed. So if you have let's say a 3 or 2 mile commute, once you get to work, you can just turn it off, and I don't see that you need to charge it for the way back because it's already a little bit warm. And with most gloves, with most traditional gloves, where you feel most of the wind is at the tips, your fingertips. So your hand might be warm inside the glove, but it's squeezing out the blood flow from entering the tops of your fingertips, and that's the part that usually gets cold. So that you'll see people bunching them up together and blowing on their fingers from the warm condensation and warm air inside of their lungs. But people sometimes also elect to get mittens. And just so you know, the Wasoto company also has mittens if you want to go that route instead of gloves. Just go to their store on Amazon, or you can just go to their website. You see that they're available. It also has this cord here that you can hold down, and if you want to make the bottom a little tighter to prevent cold air from getting inside your glove. And also you might just want ice if you're working in ice, right? You're working outdoors, you're fixing your cars, whatever you need to do in cold weather, and you need the full use of your hands, but you want to keep the warmth inside of your palm. Just tighten this up to make the bottom tighter and keep the ice or cold air from freezing your wrists. So this is, I would consider a luxury item, just because it's something that wasn't so about 20 years ago. I know they sold some of the packets in CVS or Walgreens that you can just stuff inside your glove and have it warm for a couple of minutes, but this, you can have it warm for a couple of hours. Not only that, but now it's priced well enough that it's consumer accessible, meaning instead of it being $200, $500 now, these are, you can get some for about $80, $90, and it's reasonably accessible to a lot of working people. So these are the gloves. Let's see, it's if you are interested in using your touchscreen while you're out riding, or just while you're wearing this glove, just know that this promises to, according to the website, to be able to unlock your phone and maneuver about your phone without having to take off the glove, because it won't recognize your digital print. So again, they advertise these gloves are good for winter, outdoor working, skiing, outdoor working, skiing, hiking, and camping. So this also frees up your hand, in that you don't have to have your hand in your pocket just to keep them warm while you're walking and while you're hiking, which can be dangerous because there's ice on the ground, right? And with gloves on, it also adds a different level of protection as a cushion in case you're hiking and you were to take a slip in cold or wet, icy weather. What else can I say about the glove? Well, it's black, so many of the stains that you will get from working outside, right? A lot of the farm gloves that you have are light colors, leather, bleached colors. Some of them are yellow. And you can see every stain when you're working outside from just everyday wear and tear. Well, these are black dye for these gloves seem to always conceal whatever stain that you have better than the lighter colors, except for the back, of course. But I think most of the stains usually happen around the fingers and the areas that make contact where grease is or any kind of soil or dirt closer to the ground. So right now they're off, and I can still feel, actually my hands are beginning to sweat now. Inside this room now it's about 71 degrees, and just with the little bit of heat that I was able to pump through the glove a little while ago, I still feel that warmth. So my hands are actually beginning to sweat now. I would like to see how this works with, let's say, 38 degree weather and below. That's usually when, actually 45, especially if it's windy, that's when you start to consider gloves. It's something that it can be a lifesaver, again, if you're doing delivery, if you're riding your bike, if you're training for a marathon, if you're out there jogging, if you're anything that you told yourself I can't do because my hands get real cold. Usually the hands and feet get real cold because circulation flows differently throughout the extremities of your body when the weather drops. And this is just a solution. Again, this is a tool, right? Just like a drone is a tool for some photographers as well as for surveillance. So here's what you're gonna get, and here's what to expect. Order a size larger. I might reconsider and return these because these are the extra large that you're looking at, but it does feel kind of tight, and I don't necessarily like to have tight hands when I'm writing because you don't want your finger to get stuck on the throttle, and you just want a comfortable ride. So I don't know. I might see how it breaks in after a couple days. These are new gloves. They have that new smell. Not so potent that it wouldn't require labeling in California, but it does, just like leather gloves, some of these gloves require a little bit of breaking in. What I don't want to happen is for these gloves to be so tight that when I'm maneuvering the throttle or I'm just steering, that they start to develop cracks. So I might do a follow-up on these. I like the fact that they have the heat button right here, the power button right here on both gloves, and that the battery is hidden. The only thing I'm not liking right now is the tightness of it because it's just a little much. I don't like to feel tight when I'm wearing something on my hands. And you know, when you're driving your bike or a motorcycle or scooter, that you usually don't like to have anything on your hands because you want to feel the machine in front of you. So let's hope that these break in, or if not, hey, if you got it on Amazon or straight from their website, you have a window of time in which you can return this and exchange it for something else. Well, I hope that was helpful to you. Feel free to like, subscribe, pass the word on. Your like goes a long way, and it makes it possible and easier for us to continue what we're doing. Thank you. Take care of yourselves and each other.